myself to anyway. I've literally only made it live like 2 seconds ago. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, sounds good. Yeah, I had to like really quickly shave this morning.
Oh, okay. You just had to, did you?
Yeah. I had to. No, I had to because I had like this hole in my beard, and it looked really stupid. So I wasn't going live with that.
Had a hole in your beard.
I had a hole in my beard. That's right.
What the fuck happened? You just come out of nowhere.
Well, no. Well, okay. So I feel like this is really early to be getting deep in the show, but you know, I've always done that thing where I like twirl my hair.
Yeah.
Since I've been growing beard, so for like the last 6 or 7 years, I do it with my beard as well when it starts to get long. Okay. And sometimes it just means I do it in the same spot and I lose hair in that place. It's like there's a name for it. Like if someone else was doing that and I was assessing them, I would say that's probably borderline trichotillomania, we call it. But trichotillomania is pulling hair out, and I don't really do that. I just kind of fiddle around with it and it just falls out.
It's like, I don't know, you can put it down to a lot of things. I fiddle with my beard all the time.
Yeah, but do you do it to a point where it falls out?
Yeah, I have like loose hair all over my desk and stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes if I'm fiddling with it a lot.
So yeah, so I think it's more like akin to like stimming, which is what like people with autism do. They stim a little bit. I mean, stimming is quite normal. People stim. People with autism just stim a lot. And like really, really need to. Like cracking your knuckles is a form of stimming, I think. Yeah. I'm sure some people would argue with me about that, but I think it is. Okay, right. I'm just going to get the control room up. Oh, did you find the chat box? That elusive chat box?
Oh no.
I sent you a picture.
Yeah.
On Discord.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you got it.
It's just the one thing I haven't done yet. I was about to say we're double cheeked up on logos at the moment. I put the new one in, but I don't know how it looks, and I've kept the old one as well. So just let me know how it looks on stream. We could just roll with the new one.
No problem. Yeah. No problem.
What else? Oh yeah, the chat box. Yeah. Yeah, that looks like it has done it for me.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, Joaquin Branche. Joaquin says, morning, Joaquin.
Joaquin is there.
Nice.
Yeah, lovely.
That's Joaquin.
Right on cue, Joaquin.
I've never actually seen his name before. That's Joaquin.
I assume it is Joaquin. Can you correct us if we're wrong, mate? I noticed that because I see Joaquin in other streams as well, and people say it with a hard J, and I'm like, surely that's not right. Surely it's Joaquin.
Joaquin Phoenix, mate.
Yeah, that's just a wicked name, I think.
Pretty cool.
Okay, let's have a look. Apparently, GTA 6 leaked overnight. Have you seen this?
No.
Yeah. Apparently, GTA 6 is leaked during our sleeping sesh.
Really?
Our UK sleeping sesh, yeah. Like there's like 90 clips of it floating around, which must be a bit rough.
Oh no! Apparently it is Joaquin. You've been nailing it every time. Yeah, Rand.
Yeah, Rand. Which I thought Rand did. I can't believe. You must have corrected him at some point. I can't believe.
That's the best, dude.
That's funny. Cool. Get rid of the top logo. We don't need both. Yeah, go with the top one.
I was just seeing how it looked. That's all.
Oh, sorry. Right, got you.
Chill out.
I'm chill, man. I swear.
I'm not.
You're right. I'm raging. I'm upset.
All right, so I got.
Let him do here.
What do you think of the new
logo? Where have my notes gone?
Waheen. The new little QRP logo.
Yeah, it's a bit sleeker. It's not focused on faces as much, but I don't know. I wanted something like, because the one the previous one, I paid someone to make because they did faces. But the more I looked at it, the more I kind of just liked having a symbol. I like a symbol, you know. So I like them.
No, that's fair enough.
And my notes have disappeared, so bear with me.
It's fine.
Then we can get started.
He says it looks good. He likes it. We've done it.
We did it.
What episode are we on?
Let's see how we get on. Maybe we can do. Maybe I can come to like try and mesh two together at some point.
Yeah. I could have put the Tokyo Game Show background, but I just put Deathloop because I'm just mad.
That's fine by me. Yeah, you are the show's producer, Tim. You take your initiative with that.
Seriously? Do you want? All right. I'm putting a Furby.
What? Putting a gremlin up there.
Nah, Furby, dude. You remember Furbies when we were kids?
I mean, I think so. Weren't they just the furry little toys, but they were kind of gremlin-like?
It always annoyed me that they had really hard plastic eyelids that used to blink. I didn't like that.
Yeah, they should have had furry eyeballs as well.
No, not eyeballs, Dick. Eyelids. For fuck's sake.
No, furry eyeballs. Right. Let me just have a quick listen, double check for audio. Tell us if we're sounding all right, please.
Yeah.
Chat.
Please do. I think I'm a little bit. Actually, no, I'm not lower than normal.
Yeah, you're surprisingly a little bit quieter. You can maybe pump yourself up.
Well, I put the noise suppression thing on.
Oh, that's true.
So, could eat my mic a bit more.
Oh, having said that, I'm on low volume. I think we're good.
We are good. Yeah, we can go ahead and start this.
Man,
yeah,
I had so many notes to take this week. I was in and out of this Google Doc every day, 3 times a day. It's horrible.
Oh, I'm on the wrong one. It says nothing here.
Is it the Tokyo Game Show one?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. The live stream that we had planned, but then I realized it was 10 a.m. and not 10 p.m. and we were at work, so we couldn't stream it, and I just wasn't ready.
It was glorious. It really was. You absolutely smashed it. Right, he says we all sound good, and he mentioned the GTA 5 leaks. Yeah, it's 90 videos, all 3 protagonists. Okay, so they're doing a triple protagonist thing.
GTA 6.
GTA 6 as well. Man.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw one little clip floating around Twitter earlier. It looks quite far along. Yeah, it looks very legit. Yeah, I think so. Do you know what? It's really I keep wanting to play GTA 5, but I because I owned it on 360, played it maybe 10 hours, just pissed around a lot. But ever since I've gotten more into story games, I want to go back and play it, but it's never on a good deal ever.
No,
it's always we spoke about this, haven't we? They 20,000 shark points, shark cards, and it's I don't want that. Just give me a good discount on the game.
Yeah.
10 years old.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played it and completed it on 360. I think maybe on 360. I can't remember. I played a lot of it though, and it was pretty good.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's good fun.
So maybe I'll have to do that before this one comes out. But shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we jingle?
Yeah, it's jingle.
Wonderful.
All right, we're going.
All right. Fantastic. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 69 of the Quick Resume podcast. It's the biggest. It's clearly going to be the best show that we're ever going to do, and there's no coming back from this. Really, in actual fact, I've considered just ending the show. This might be our final episode.
Finally, My God.
you're off the cuffs.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, if you have not been before, hello, my name is Deck, and over there, I've got a very cuddly man.
Thanks, man. I'm the cuddly man, and my name's Tim. I'm actually really not that cuddly of a person.
They don't like cuddles. Yeah, they're not for everyone, are they?
I mean, you know, I'm warming up to them, but
You know.
you know.
Yeah. I don't know how you sniffed at me there.
I've still got a little bit of cold, man. It wasn't
Yeah, just don't fucking touch me. Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, I hate anybody touching me when I have a cold. That is the most. I hate it.
Really?
Do you not get that? Like, I don't want anyone near me.
Yeah,
No, because I'm too scared. I'm gonna like have it. Yeah.
I'm a little bit. I just like to be left alone when I'm sick, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm too scared that I'll like embarrass. Like I will like just have like a volcanic sneeze. Like someone will come near me and I will just like cover them.
Yeah.
in sneeze.
Right.
So, nah. That's my fear. It's never happened. We call that catastrophizing.
One day it might.
Guilty as charged. Huh?
I said one day it might happen. Though.
One day it might happen, and that's the fear we all live in of covering our loved ones in snot. All right, Timmy boy. There's video games. Boy, are there video games to talk about this week.
Exciting.
I've got a lot on this list because I'm interested to hear about your thoughts. Not because there's like a handful of Xbox news, but then there's also like lots of little things. You know, we had Tokyo Game Show, we had the Nintendo Direct, we had the PlayStation State of Play. There was Modern Warfare 2 reveal. Cyberpunk Edgerunners came out like last week or something like that. And then Sony keeps, Sony / Jim Ryan is still going on and on about this Activision Blizzard deal. You know, that won't stop. So it's posing a lot of philosophical questions, but we'll save that for later. So Tim, how have we been?
Yeah, better, man. I'm on the mend. I'm pretty much over my sickness now, so that's nice.
I'm happy to hear it.
Just been kind of grinding out work like normal. And the gamer brain has been mainly fixated on. Well, it's been kind of going a little bit everywhere, to be honest. We've been playing a lot of Rocket League this week. It's just like a little party game that we've been sort of booting up because we don't really have much to play at the moment when there's sort of 3 or more people on. So we've been playing a lot of Rocket League. We did some tourneys and stuff. That has been good fun, to be fair. Do love Rocket League, but I'm not fantastic.
Nah, you're good.
I mean, I'm fine, but I've come to accept that I will never be fantastic at Rocket League because my brain just ceases to work when, like, I don't know, when like advanced aerials come into play, my brain just shuts down. I don't know what to tell you. It just does.
It's the one thing I've managed to get down as aerials. Not like complicated ones, but just like basic ones. And then everything else, I like, mate, if you give me an open goal and put a ball in front of me, I will find a way to miss the goal. Yeah. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I crumble under the pressure.
Yeah, you're not the biggest goal scorer. I'll say that.
I'm not.
You're pretty good at setting up, and you're not bad on defense and stuff. But like, yeah, you don't tend to get tons of goals.
I just can't figure out the angles. I don't understand where the ball comes off my car. You know, like how to like aim. Like I don't understand how to aim. I guess that's quite a quite a big part of probably why I can't score goals. Yeah, I don't know how to aim.
Kind of exactly that. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, it's all just angles and just trying to picture it in your head and like, yeah, where you should hit it on your car and stuff. Yes, you don't just toe punt it straight every time and stuff like that, which I feel like you probably try and do quite a lot. But
absolutely, without a doubt.
But yeah, so lots of Rocket League. That's been fun, and with the with the news that we received this week, I've been wanting to polish off my single player game to make room for another coming on Tuesday. So I've been trying to blitz Tales of Arise like loads this week.
Oh, sorry, what's that? That's coming on Tuesday. What's that? That's coming on Tuesday, Tim?
I didn't want to drop it because I thought we could talk about it later, but it's fucking Deathloop, my boy. Deathloop. Let's go. Let's go.
And it's funny because if you go back to last week, we were so defeated. We were so defeated. We were so pessimistic. But like, it's coming to PS Plus. Like, gonna be gone another 6 months. Fucking Sony, you know.
Yeah, we were just fucking done. Yeah. But yeah, that's obviously mad hype. So excited for that, and I'm really looking forward to playing that on Tuesday. Straight into Games Pass. Beautiful.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
And so I've been trying to polish off Tales of Arise, so I'm like 30 hours in now, maybe. And I ain't finishing that by Tuesday. I've been trying, but just JRPGs in their fashion, it's just like, I feel like I could get it done, but there's just so much, like, I don't want to rush it as well. I don't want to just skip all the story and all like the character dialogue and stuff, because I do really like the characters in that game. But at the same time, I do kind of want to finish it. So like, I'm at a weird crossroads, but like, there was like a segment of the game that I was on when I was playing it the other day, and I shit you not, like, just a solid 45 minutes was only dialogue. It was only me talking to my other party members for 45 minutes.
I don't know.
Yeah. So like, you know, I think I probably could get it done in like another like 10 hours of game time. So it's not too bad. I can still chip away at it and get it done in the next like week or two, I think. But yeah.
That does stress me out when like games otherwise have like good pacing, but they get a bit, I don't know, I don't want to say self-indulgent, but like get maybe a bit carried away with the dialogue. And
yeah,
because it really does pull you. There was a game that I played recently that was like that. I can't remember what it was. I do think, I don't think this is what I'm thinking of, but I do think Cyberpunk's a bit like this, at least to begin with. Like, you have like the opening 45 minutes is maybe opening couple of hours actually is quite slow, in that you have like one big gameplay segment, but the rest of it is just talking and world building.
Yeah, I have heard that.
Which for me it's a bit slow. For other people, they're gonna like just soaking up the world, but like get me playing something. You know what I mean? Like, and it takes control away from you as well, because you know some games don't do that. They're happy to let you wander around and do stuff while people speak to you. But anyway.
So this is just there's a lot of that, and there's so much like optional stuff that I'm not doing. Like at any point in the game, after like a significant story event, or just to like get to know your characters a bit better, you can press like right bumper and it comes up with like these cute little cutscenes if you like talking to this person about this and that, you know. And I used to do that a little bit, but it doesn't do anything for the game. It's just extra if you want it, sort of thing. I mean, I've just stopped doing that. Like, I probably got like 20 of those backed up, you know, if not more, to talk to all my characters, and they're like a few minutes a pop, like easy. Of just dialogue. There's just so much to like consume with all that, and you could definitely tell like they really took their time with the characters and the dialogue and the storytelling and stuff. Like, it is really good. Like, it's proper like top tier. But yeah, it's just it can sometimes just be a little bit too much. But yeah, so I'm kind of been playing a lot of that and looking to polish that off. You know, hopefully sort of this week. I'll be playing it alongside Deathloop, I think. I don't think I'm just going to drop it, because I am still enjoying it. So yeah.
Yeah, I've got to like, it even caught my eye as someone who's not the biggest JRPG fan. I thought it looks quite interesting. I know the reviews have been really good, and I'd probably be interested if we weren't about to come out of a bit of a gaming drought, and Persona being right around the corner. Probably going to go for Persona first, but then we'll see where I'm at. I was quite surprised when I watched like the trailer and saw the screenshots. I was like, this looks actually kind of up my alley. I like it. I like the look of it.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, the combat's pretty fast paced, and pretty mental. You know, it's like the whole like assist mechanic thrown in, where you call people in to do like specific things, like break an enemy's guard, or like someone can like juggle someone in the air with like their gun and stuff like that, and it does more damage. And there's like you got like 8 of those now. Like I think I have like 6 other party members to like juggle in and out at the right times, and it's very fast paced and combo centric, and very DMC heavy. So I'm enjoying it. Like, yeah, it's really good. And I just love the art style of that game as well, and it's so smooth and buttery, and it just runs so nicely.
It pops. Yeah,
exactly. It just looks really, really nice. So yeah, but that's been about it, to be honest. Yeah, just Tales, Rocket League, a little bit of Apex here and there, but really not too much this week. And yeah, I think that's about it for me. What about you?
Awesome. Hasn't been much. Well, having said that, what have I? I wanted to boot up Wolong because there's a demo out for that. I wanted to give that a go, but I haven't managed to yet. I'm hearing pretty good things generally. Feels like Neo, which is obviously a good thing. Feels like Neo 3 kind of, maybe leaning a bit more into like Japanese culture a little bit more, like historic and mythology kind of thing. But yeah, I'm hearing good things. Didn't get a chance to try it out, unfortunately. Been playing Curse to Golf on my Switch. Been playing Rocket League with you, obviously. I've just been in a big Rocket League mood this week because our friends, we find it like near impossible to get our group of friends to agree on games to play. And there's like a handful which like don't fall out of it like into the unacceptable range for all of us. And those games tend to be Rocket League and Siege, like Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
But out of those two, I was just feeling a lot more Rocket League this week. So yeah, a bit of that. And then another car game. I've been playing You Suck at Parking, recently dropped into Game Pass.
I haven't tried that yet.
Which is it's delightful. It's absolutely delightful. Really nice, just chill game, but it's got this really nice one more go feeling to it that I haven't played a game that has that feeling in a while. Like the last time I maybe played was Hades. It really, really has it. And that's like the premise is basically that you've got like a little course. There are a couple of parking spots, 2 or 3 usually, and you have to fill all of them. So you send out multiple cars one after the other, but you can't reverse, and you can only go forward. And so you've got to steer the car. And if you like, some of the edges of the arena are rubber balls, some of them are like thermal fences that just blow you up. So if you go too far, you've got to reset, and it will take your time down, et cetera, et cetera. It is missing online multiplayer friend lobbies at the moment, which really sucks.
It's a bit lame.
I tweeted to the devs to see what that do they have an ETA, and they said they don't have an ETA, but it's coming very soon. I think maybe a couple of weeks, based on kind of the wording and the language there. You can play online with up to 8 randos, which I was kind of surprised at how fun that was, and if I can get that with my friends, it's like a whole thing, man. Like they've really put a lot of love into like polishing the game. There's a battle pass in the game, with a lot of cosmetics. A parking pass. I don't know what I was thinking. Which is like it's like £3 or something. And they've already got like a roadmap laid out for like maps to be added. There's like 100 single player ones, there's like 50 multiplayer ones. I don't know. I was just quite impressed. It's a shame that the friend lobbies aren't in at launch, but I'm quite impressed by what's actually there. But yeah, what else have I been playing? I booted back up Cyberpunk. I started another Cyberpunk playthrough after I finished Edgerunners. I was just really in the mood.
Oh god, you're playing that instead of a new game. Oh man, you could play Tales of Arise.
Well, that's a big commitment. I
it is.
You understand that? That's like booting up.
It's the same though. It's like another like.
I've already played Cyberpunk, so it's not. I'm not like going into it to finish it. I'm just dipping toes in. Yeah. And I think that's pretty much it. I did a lot of dipping this week. I installed Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Haven't tried it yet. I've got Origins as well.
Oh, that's even.
Yeah, I know. Well, these
the biggest Assassin's Creed ever. I think that one in terms of content.
Maybe. Yeah, it might be. Might be bigger than Valhalla, but I've just kind of got them there. I've got Origins and Odyssey downloaded, just like as comfy games if I want to just hop into and just do some stuff while I'm like listening to a podcast or whatever. Haven't done it yet. but they're there. And that's it. I think that's it for me.
Nice.
So yeah, a bit of a cozy week, like you said. Really, just waiting for Deathloop around the corner now. Really, really excited. It's been a. If you think about it, we've known about Deathloop since 2019. That's when it got revealed. So it's been 3 years, but I've been sitting on excitement for this game.
It's been a long ass time.
With the last year being particularly agonizing. So
let's just hope it holds up.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it was reviewed really well. It's coming out with an additional update, isn't it? The golden loop with an additional weapon, new enemy type, plus quality of life stuff.
So many patches since it first came out, because I think I've said this before in the podcast, but a lot of people's issues with that game was the AI was just really dumpy. So although they preached that you could approach things in 1,000 different ways, realistically you could just walk in and shoot people and the AI would never kill you and stuff like that. Apparently a lot of people said it was pretty bad on launch. So they've actually patched that and improved the AI. I think their first 3 or 4 patches were solely improving the AI. So
right.
An issue that they tried to bury pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't want to stay on the topic too much because we will be talking about it a lot next week. But the main reason that I've always been excited since I understood what the game was, because again, Arcane just cannot market their games. They're just so hard to market. I think it takes what I really like about Deathloop, which is kind of Dishonored, which is kind of the creativity element of kind of going through those missions and doing things how you want. But it kind of gives you unlimited mana, right? In Dishonored, you had to use potions and you only had so much. And that was good for what Dishonored did. It kept it more grounded. It added tension, because if you missed something, if you missed a move, it would screw up your run, or you'd have to find a way to adapt. But that at the same time could be quite frustrating. Whereas Deathloop, it doesn't seem like it has that. And it's just kind of big play box, go and do what you want, use your powers and go mental. And I'm very excited for that, because I think Arcane excels with that. And the final thing, I suppose, is what I want to see how it feels gunplay wise, because I've heard from my friends it felt pretty good. Just I don't think Dishonored or Prey felt particularly good on the sticks, because they didn't need to, because they're not like shooters, are they? But with Redfall coming up, I think they got help from id on Deathloop from id Tech.
Maybe.
So supposedly, Redfall should feel a bit like this, but maybe a bit better. So yeah, those are just the 2 things I wanted to add. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. No, I'm excited.
Yes. Okay. Right. Let's get into the honorable mentions for the week, Tim. Out of all the shows, I'm just gonna splatter them out to you, and you tell me if there's anything you want to mention from the 3 of the shows. So Nintendo Direct, State of Play, Tokyo Game Show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're asking me if there's anything.
Is there anything?
Oh, I thought you were just going to reel through, and then if there's anything that. So I watched I watched most of the Nintendo Direct just in the background while I was working. It was fine. I think it was more Nintendo stuff, right? There was a lot of stuff that was not really that hype in there, and for some reason they love farming. They really love farming.
They do. They do.
I don't know what's going on there, but there was there 3 farming games I think showed in that one Direct?
There was, yeah. I tweeted about it in the show. I was literally if they show one more farming game, I'm gonna swallow my rabbit. Yeah. And they didn't. Thankfully, they didn't. But there was a lot
of pets under some pretty serious threats this week.
That's what's wrong with us.
Yeah. So that was quite funny. But obviously it was pretty hype. I mean, a lot of people found the Pikmin thing really hype. I've never been a Pikmin guy. Don't think I've ever even played a Pikmin game. But I know it's a pretty big deal for a lot of Nintendo fans. So that's pretty cool. And obviously, the big boy, the big Breath of the Wild 2. Mm-hmm. Was it Tears of the Penis? Tears of the Fallen Kingdom.
You mean Tears of the Kingdom?
Tears of the Kingdom. Actually, yeah, you could literally say it in that way, couldn't you?
That's, a lot of people apparently were confusing it for Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, I saw it and I was like, it's clearly Tears.
Yeah,
but
I read it and I was like, Tears. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool. You know, it was a very short little slice that we got, but it was pretty cool. Him like floating over that, just like a massive map. Looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very similar to like Skyward Sword, like falling animations like, through the clouds and stuff like that. So I wonder if there was so much of that being shown. I wonder if there's like some sort of base up in the clouds or something, some sort of city up there, and then you go down.
Definitely.
Yeah,
that is what it's seeming like, isn't it? It's giving me big Skyward Sword or Bioshock Infinite vibe in terms of the setting. Yeah, like up in the clouds above Hyrule. Because it looks like the map is the same, right? But from Breath of the Wild, Hyrule is still there. It's just in the sky now.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty hype. Tokyo Game Show. What really happened in the Tokyo Game Show?
I think I've got a list here. I've got a list for you. Let me reel through it. It's quite far down in my notes. I think it's near the bottom.
Don't remember too much from this.
So we got a couple of games and we got a couple of cool bits of information from Sarah Bond and from Philly Cheesesteak. Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 The Golden got announced. I don't know if they were already announced. More gameplay from Wolong Fallen Dynasty, which I thought looked really good. There was some Exo Primal there as well. Blablu Cross Tag and Guilty Gear, both coming to Game Pass.
Oh yeah,
next year.
Yeah, that was cool until I figured out it was spring 23, and I was like, well, no.
Yeah.
Back
of the queue.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Todd somehow found another way to get Skyrim into another game show by saying Skyrim Anniversary is now available in Japan. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, which is like a Studio Ghibli game, which is really interesting because my wife and her family love Studio Ghibli stuff. So I literally messaged them and I was like, this is on Game Pass today. Pop it on download. I think right up your alley. Danganronpa, a lot of people really do wax lyrical about those games, even though they look so weird to me.
Yeah.
I watch the trailers and I'm like, I don't understand why they're talking bears. Why do they have half faces? I don't get it.
Me neither, man. And I like anime and JRPGs.
You like weird.
I still don't know.
That's a step too far for me, mate. Push me over the edge. We had Overwatch 2. We had the Kiriko reveal. Looks fun. I like the look of that character.
Yeah. Oh, Kiriko. Yeah. She was the support, wasn't she? The kind of like aggressive. She could teleport as well. Support. I think that was that one I was talking about that was leaked.
She had the little spirit fox.
2 weeks ago. Yeah. She looks awesome. Yeah. I think I'll probably play her quite a lot.
So that confirms 3 characters for the launch of Overwatch 2, along with Junker Queen and who's the other one? Oh, I've blanked. That's fine. Ayuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, a Dyson Sphere program, Horizon 10th anniversary. Nothing, it's just a celebration. No thing. Pokemon with Uzzies. Pal World.
Oh yeah, that looked awesome. Like I immediately fucking googled that shit, and I was like, "When's this out?" It's just 23. It doesn't have a release
Just
date.
crazy.
It looks great.
It did look all right, actually. It did look pretty good. It was just such a wacky combination of genres that it just confused my brain. Do you know what I mean? My brain wasn't designed to think that way.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I liked it. I was vibing that trailer to the point.
No, I thought it looked good as well.
Yeah,
I thought it looked good.
Googled it as I was watching the trailer.
Yeah. We got Assassin's Creed Odyssey Shadow drop into Games Pass, and we got Fuga Melodies of Steel 2 coming to Xbox in 2023, and the first one, Fuga of Melodies of Steel, dropping into Game Pass as a Shadow drop, and then finally Deathloop is the final announcement. Woo!
I'm just gonna you carry on. I'm just gonna pop out quick and get a tissue. It'll be 2 seconds.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we had all those game announcements, but alongside that we had Phil say we're welcoming more new console players to Xbox than ever before in Asia, largely because of the Xbox Series S, where more than half of the sales have gone to first-time Xbox owners. And I'll be interested to hear what Tim kind of thinks of that when he comes back, because this is like more and more making a case for like a portable Xbox. I don't know if they'll ever do that, but they like small things over there, and that's clearly having an impact. So just to recap, Tim, I just covered what Phil said in his quote at the beginning of the show, and he said that more new console players are coming to Xbox than ever before in Asia, largely because of Xbox Series S, where more than half of sales have gone to first-time Xbox owners.
Oh wow!
Which we don't really know how that is. Yeah, we don't really know how that is relative to other, like, because we'd expect that Series S would be more popular as time goes on, right? That's expected. But yeah, I guess maybe there is an expectation that Series S will perform better in Japan and in Asia because of its size. Any
it's because
thoughts?
Of its size, and I think it's just because of people are still. I think people are still a little bit on the fence and a little bit skeptical of where Xbox sits in that sort of market over there. So it's just the cheaper alternative to kind of just be like, yeah, let's just get one. Let's just test the waters a bit without dropping, £500 worth, convert that into yen or whatever. I have no idea. It's like 18 billion yen. I don't even know. But yeah, so I think it's just an easier way for them just to experience what Xbox could have to offer in this market that they're growing in without them having to full commit with a a really expensive console. They'll still keep their expensive home console to being PlayStation, right? And then they'll just get a little Series S on the side, to experience some of what they have to offer. And then if they're like, oh wow, Xbox is really growing here, then they could upgrade to a Series X and stuff like that later at the time. But I think it's just an easier entry point, and it's more portable. It's its size, so yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting. And I think as well, like you said, maybe it is just the fact that they're kind of resigned to knowing that they're not going to be the primary console in most households. It's like, we need to have a secondary console, that people are going to buy as an additive, like where people are going to buy PlayStations or Switches before they buy an Xbox. And so we need to just have something that people can get on the cheap or get access to our games. And I think Joaquin said something really interesting here as well. I think it emphasizes the need for servers to access Game Pass on their mobile phones, which I think is to say supplementary. I think Xbox wants to be kind of supplementary over there rather than dominant for now, because they know it's kind of not feasible to be primary.
We just got a sub off just the name of the podcast. Well, that's very nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate the sub.
I see that. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Doc. We thought long and hard about that name, didn't we? We had a few.
We did.
We went with.
We had I think we narrowed it down to like a top 3. But this one was my favorite, right from the get go. As soon as I think you came up with this one. As soon as you told me, I was like, this just makes sense. It's like Xbox's newest, biggest feature, and it just makes sense for a podcast name.
I have one other that I still really like. Use. I'm really worried. Maybe somebody already has it, but I don't want to say it out loud in case someone steals it. They really like it.
Twitter and just
I might use it at some point. Yeah, that's right.
That's all you need today.
That's how we get the big bucks.
Yeah.
And it will suck if Xbox stops using Game Pass. Stop using Quick Resume.
Or they just come up with a shittier name convention.
Which they could do.
They have a history of that. Jump back in. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
Jump in. It's the Xbox jump in feature, yeah.
Stupid, dude. The naming conventions are so bad.
What, you don't like Xbox Cloud streaming or Xbox Games Network?
No.
You prefer that over xCloud and Xbox Live? Nah.
I mean,
we're wrong.
Pass is pretty good, to be fair. And Quick Resume is good.
Game Pass
some
is
of their
good.
stuff is good, but some of it is also awful. I just think the fact that the new console went from Xbox One to Xbox One X to Xbox Series X, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's just dumb. I'm sorry, it's dumb. It's so
This is
confusing.
a great question. Let's pull this thread. What would we have called this gen of consoles if we had a chance? Question to the chat and to Tim.
I don't know
What would we have called
what
it?
I liked its project name. I just liked the Xbox Scarlet or whatever it was called.
Yeah, it was Skylar, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they should just go for colours. That'd have worked. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. But I just feel like Series X just is confusing. It really is.
Especially when they just have the One X. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
I guess the idea is to kind of have a bit of a soft reboot so that they can just have series consoles from now on. If they now stop using the series like thing,
the Xbox Infinite,
like the series
from Wacky
prefix, that'd be stupid. Yeah, Xbox Infinite. That was like a big rumor at when like during the 360, going into Xbox One, that the Xbox One was going to be Xbox Infinity or something.
Yeah, Xbox Infinity
or Infinite,
or the Infinite. That sounds pretty good, man. Yeah.
Having said that, launching Halo Infinite on the Xbox Infinite might be a bit much. That's too many Infinites.
Well, they could just change it, or they could have just scrapped Infinite. No one really would have cared.
Well, that's true. Hey! Fucking got him. Look, we've got a lot of 343 to talk about today, Tim. So save your Halo energy and your slander for later.
Okay. I'll save it all for later. #fire.
Yeah. Okay. The Xbox should have been called Bye Bye Sony Box. Get fucked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a little bit too far, Dark.
Is it like personal?
Take it easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I suppose like coming off the back of the Tokyo Game Show. Oh no, actually, I had one more thing I wanted to touch. I think Sarah Bond said something really interesting. No, there was something else I wanted to ask you, and it was I'm like going back several steps. Do you think energy is better spent on Xbox's big next innovation, bearing like the want to grow in Japan, but also like wanting to take back market share in the West? Do you think the next big project is the R&D money worth it going to VR, or doubling down on cloud, or going for portable? VR, cloud, portable. What do you think? Is there we can only have one of these things? And does it continue to be cloud, or does that project money get split into something else? What do you think is the best worthwhile investment?
I'd probably say just keep investing into cloud. I think that's the best way to approach something that kind of also encapsulates the portable market too at the same time. Like it's a little bit of both, right? And I just think that's the way to do it. I just don't think releasing a portable console, you're not going to edge out the Switch. You're not going to edge out probably the Steam Deck. You're not going to edge out any of these competitors, I don't think. And nobody's really doing cloud or has done cloud. So I think that's the best way to do it. And I think it, like I said, it does a little bit of both. It's portable, it's convenient, it's new, and I feel like if it's something you can nail, it's pretty revolutionary. So yeah,
it's entirely unique, and it's definitely a good point. They're already going in that direction. They've already built a lot of the groundwork for it. And we spoke about this kind of a few weeks back, didn't we? I think of them building the cloud infrastructure for gaming as like buying the land under the houses, so that they're going to be able to take profit from everybody who uses the cloud. And don't forget, they rent out these servers to everyone. It's not just for them. Yeah. But this is also like a heart versus mind thing, because my heart really wants an Xbox portable. We've all seen the fan mock-ups of them. My heart definitely wants that, but my brain is saying stick with cloud. And I'm personally not that invested or interested in VR until we're at a point where it can be wireless, affordable, and that there's like a suite of actual software there. So that's probably like another 10 years away, maybe longer. So I'm not really there for that. And I suppose the other peg to fill the hole here is the Steam Deck, I think. Yeah. I'm sure Xbox are looking at the Steam Deck and they're like, they've beaten us to the market. Is there really any point in us putting something together?
Yeah, that's what I'll say. You're not going to edge out Switch or Steam Deck at this point.
Yeah, that's right.
You just cut your losses.
Let's just complement. Yeah, let's just try and get Game Pass there, try and get xCloud there, and then work on that.
Agreed.
Interesting. Okay. And then what was it? Yeah, I mean, not too much that I can talk about here, but Sarah Bond said Azure gaming business in Asia has doubled over the last year as well. So it sounds like overall the business is growing. They're really making the effort to, and it's starting to pay off now, I think, because now my next question to kind of everyone is kind of, how do we think that Xbox is kind of doing in Japan and Asia now? Like, compare this to 2018, 2019. Is this working?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it's the best Xbox has ever been in like Asia and Japan and all that. It's only getting better. So yeah, I'd say whatever we're doing and what we're going for here is definitely a step in the right direction. And I think it's also the way to approach it as well. I think you just get your foot in the door at this point. You don't want to be too oppressive. You don't want to just start like just being a menace like over there. You could just get your way in there slowly. Like you don't want to make any enemies. You don't want to just go over there and just start being like, oh, we want some of this market, so we're just gonna buy up all these devs. We're gonna start just doing this and really shaking it up, and it's just not really gonna go down well with the whole population there that's already so Sony based. If we did that and started shaking up the way that they have played their games for years and be like, you have to buy this console now, I don't think it'll go down too well. So I think the way we're doing it slowly but surely and just winning favor back right now, I think it's the way to do it, and it's only been positive, right? So
it has. It definitely has. And I think there's still work to do, and Phil says that they've all been on record and they've all said that, and I just think it's one of the biggest like fucking dilemmas to come out of all this whole week in the game show is that I was excitedly messaging you about what was happening at the game show, or maybe it was even it was Nintendo's. It was a Nintendo show, and they showed Octopath Traveler 2, and then that game wasn't coming to Xbox. Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah, that is a little bit weird, isn't it? Yeah, because so it's made by Square, isn't it?
Yeah, who hate Xbox apparently.
Who do hate Xbox? Yeah, I mean at this point, I don't know why Sony don't just buy Square. I mean, they're not buying them because they're getting all these kind of pseudo exclusives for cheaper, aren't they? Rather than splashing out and actually buying Square. But yeah, that is a little bit weird because I was under the impression that Octopath did pretty well over on Games Pass in terms of downloads and people that played it. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the statistics there weren't actually that great, and that's why Square have pulled it off from Xbox. Did it say it was coming on Switch as well? I'm pretty sure it was because I think Octopath was really big on Switch. I think it started on Switch, didn't it? And then it made its way to PlayStation later.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think so. So yeah, that was a little bit of a gut punch, but in all honesty, apart from achievements and stuff like that, I feel like that game does kind of suit the more portable sort of game console anyway. Like I think, given the opportunity, I probably would like to play it on Switch a little bit more. I would just like to maybe play it on Xbox for achievements, but
Cloud, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mate. Cloud. Well, I tried it. I actually tried Octopath on Cloud not long ago.
Oh yeah.
And I tried it just on like the Wi-Fi, like upstairs in my room. And my house is obviously quite big, and thick walls, all that. My Wi-Fi is not fantastic, and my experience wasn't great. I kept getting that screen wipe again. Input delay a little bit. Like it wasn't too bad, and I know it was my Wi-Fi. I know if I was closer to my router in a different room or anything like that, my experience would have been better, but it wasn't fantastic. Because I was definitely, I shit you not, I almost bought a what are they called, Kishis, the Razer Kishis or something. Almost bought one of those.
Yes.
On Amazon.
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah.
I would recommend it.
Really
in actual fact,
close.
I'd maybe look at the backbone. Look at the backbone. I think that's gained a little bit more traction than the
For
Kishi,
some
but they're all
reason I
good.
thought
You
that
can't
was
go wrong with
PlayStation
any of them.
only. I know it was revealed and marketed for PlayStation, but it's not, is it? It's not.
No.
they've done
It's been out a
Hogwarts
while
Legacy
for
on me.
Xbox. No, it's been out a while, just like a generic one. I think there has already been an Xbox version, but they did a partnership. So like a Sony one in the last state of play, I think it was. I think that's right.
Okay.
Or something.
Oh yeah, it does look kind of cool.
But I just got the buns. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like my Kishi, and there's a Kishi V2 now, which is apparently better.
Yes, it's a lot more expensive. Yeah, it's quite.
Yes.
It's like an extra like 40 quid or something. Yeah, it's quite a bit.
Yeah, because I ended up just getting the generic one because the Xbox One, like it has it basically just has an Xbox button instead of a home button, like a generic home button. That's pretty much it, and the colors are right on the A, B, X, and Y. But it costs like an extra 30 quid for the Xbox branding. I was like, I'm not doing that. It's the same product. So yeah, I just got the normal one.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a type of game which suits cloud gaming because I was thinking the same about Persona, right? Should I buy it on Switch? Should I wait for an Xbox? And ultimately, I'm like, xCloud is at a good enough point now where I don't feel bad about streaming like turn-based games on my phone.
Yeah,
like it works pretty well.
Especially it's Persona's Games Pass anyway, right? So you know you're splashing like a full price game on Switch when you could just stream it for free on Games Pass.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of in agreement, and I've got just a beast of a phone as well. I mean, my phone is just absolutely massive. So like, I don't mind kind of cloud gaming on this thing. But yeah, there was a real part of me because like I said, I was trying to wrap up Tales of Arise, and I was like, oh, what's my next single player game going to be? This was prior to Deathloop coming out on Tuesday because I didn't think that was going to happen. So I was just like, yeah, I might get a Razer Kishi to do like Octopath Traveler on Games Pass. You know, I could play it like here at my girlfriend's house and stuff like that.
Yeah. No doubt. That's great. No, yeah, I agree. And I mean, we've got the chat's been popping off, by the way. That's been really, really distracting.
Quite down,
so I just wanted to say hi. Yeah. I want to say hi to all the new faces. I can see Franklin. I can see Christopher Hart. Dirt Griggity. What a name. Everyone here. Hi. And so we've got a question about having tried Stadia. I haven't tried Stadia. Tim, have you tried Stadia?
I haven't tried Stadia. No. I heard it was good. Not
really
sure why it died. I think it just died because they just didn't. Yeah,
who popped in?
Oh, really?
I had no idea.
Who was it?
Dirt.
It was Dirt.
Just had a quick look, and yeah.
We're back up, everyone.
Legend.
Give us.
Oh, are we really?
Give us a cheeky little comment if you can see us, because God knows at this point, everything just decided to die. So.
Yeah. As soon as everyone starts popping off in chat, like, nah, that's it. Everybody was saying Jim Ryan shut down the servers. Google shut us down as soon as they heard us talk about Stadia.
I mean, they must have. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Wacky says you can see us. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, we are kind of big in this sort of scene. So normally I have like a VPN to sort of mask our IP address so Jim Ryan can't find us. But unfortunately, I didn't have the VPN on. So sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
He must have sent a couple of extra ninjas to shut us down this week. You know, damn shame.
Yeah,
damn shame.
It's just classic. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So let's pick up where we left off. What were we talking about?
That's a really good question, mate. No idea. All I know is that I really wanted you to. Have you seen that incredible Mando meme that I made on the nose?
No.
That's OG content, mate.
Mando.
Right there.
How far down is it?
Yeah, it's just below it's on page 14. It's near the bottom.
Jeez.
Yeah, I had a quick look for Dirt on YouTube. I love it. It's a brother in arms, you know what I'm saying?
See, this isn't you though, this meme. Like, because I make JRPG, like not JRPG, but just like anime quotes all the time, and you just say you hate me. It happened the other night.
No.
Where you were like, oh, we're cursed on Rocket League. And I was like, cursed? what is this? Jujutsu Kaisen? And you're like, I fucking hate you. Don't talk to me. I was like, what?
Yeah, but sometimes I don't know. I don't know if you're being serious. You could just put a bunch of vowels together, and I'd be like, yeah, that's a JRPG. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, to be fair, that's an anime. It's not a JRPG. But yeah. I mean, to be honest, mate, you played an equal amount of JRPGs to me. You played in here.
Have I don't think I have.
Here. Not yet. You've played.
Man, I meant to type I love it, and I accidentally typed I love you in the chat, and now everything is weird. I made everything really weird.
We love you. Just.
I mean, yeah, sure. But I didn't mean to make it weird. I'm sorry. All right, shall we get moving with the news? I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Goldeneye. That was pretty hype because that first got announced at the Nintendo Direct, didn't it? Nintendo Direct were like, "Oh, Goldeneye's coming to Switch and stuff," and I think Xbox then tweeted that they were just like, "Oh, a version of Goldeneye is coming here too," and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, really weird. Apparently, it's because Xbox has like the emulation technology to get this stuff working in multiplayer, but Xbox don't. So apparently, it's more of a tech limitation than anything else. So I hear. But it's a bit weird. I mean, I was never really I wasn't realistically going to get a group of friends on Goldeneye for multiplayer, but I was just excited. Like, I genuinely want to just play like the opening mission or two for this game. I did the same with like Quake, the Quake remaster or whatever. Just like, I don't know, when I've got a couple of minutes, it's just kind of fun to just boot in and be like, oh yeah, this is what old games felt like, and just get a sense of. Yeah, this was a video game, in fact. Just to get a sense of what holds up and what doesn't. But yeah, whatever. It finally happened. The achievements leaked for that game like 18 months ago. It was really weird.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it sounds like it was license hell to get that like where it needed to go. So yeah, it's nice that it's finally seen the light of day.
Yes. All right, I wanted to chop through a couple of other things before we get into the big stories. And there aren't that many big stories, so we're going to be okay for time, hopefully, before we start turning into zombies. But the Xbox PC app got an update with the premiere feature being a how long to beat integration. Have you been on that website before? How long to beat? It does what it says on the tin.
Yeah, I have been on that, yeah.
So it just gives you an estimate on a game on the Xbox PC app, and I think that's a really neat integration. I'd love to see that come to Xbox.
Yeah. Let me just do a how long to beat on Tales of Arise.
600 hours.
I'm pretty sure it was like 85 if you wanted to 100% it, and I think it was like 40 to 50 just for like a regular. Yeah.
I wanted to give. I mentioned playing a bit of Cyberpunk earlier, but I wanted to give a quick shout out to Edgerunners. I watched that whole series in 2 days, and it was really quite fantastic. It was really good. Wow. I was a big fan of that. I'd give it like a 9 or a 9.5. It was really good. So would recommend. And I can't help but feel like watching this, and I was like, man, the Halo show, like, because it was just so faithful to its source material, and like it used like the same music, like here and there, it used the same sound effects. It was just very faithful to the source material, and really just like built off it and improved on it in a way which was just really impressive. So I mean, we'll see how Halo, because Series 2 is confirmed to be filming now. So hopefully they step it up a bit. Season 1 wasn't bad. It's just like this really puts it to shame in terms of making a series about a game. And I think part of it is that it wasn't about the game's characters. It was its own thing in the universe. So yeah, big ups for that. And the final, I say little thing, but final thing really that I wanted to touch on was Modern Warfare 2. Had a lot of reveals this week, didn't it? That's something that we can't really ignore. I haven't seen that much about it. I did watch a quick video, like first impressions and stuff. Have you seen about Modern Warfare 2? What are your thoughts? What's popping there?
I've seen some stuff floating around, and I've watched some gameplay. I tend to keep my eye on the Call of Duties that release every year. Don't buy them, but I kind of keep my eye on them. it looks like more Call of Duty. If I'm honest, I know that's what we say every time, but you know, it just looks very similar in its movement style and its gunplay. You know, there's still quite fast time to kill, even for like Warzone, and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't really doing much for me, but it looks pretty. They always look fantastic. You know, those games are graphically pretty damn fantastic. And it's quite interesting that they've got like these. I thought it was quite cool that they implemented a proximity chat feature for Warzone 2. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that. That's neat.
Yes, I had a question about this. This is really interesting, you know, because I would call this kind of like old school social features, right? The ones that loads of people talk about, you know, proximity chat, like records, like career records, like stats that you could see on other people, like lobbies. You don't really get lobbies that much anymore, do you? Like
No.
pre and post game lobbies.
Yeah. Mate, old school COD lobbies. The amount of shade being thrown around in those lobbies pre-game was mental.
Demonic.
It was just like 12 people
demonic,
just character assassinating each other, and then the game just started. And it was just like, all right, let's just see what happens. Let's try and win this, boys. Yeah.
Well, like this is like we've spoken about this on the show before, haven't we? And it's like I don't really know if I want. Like, I don't know if that's a feature. I'm interested to see how much it gets used because it was a lightning in a bottle. It was, you know, a product of its time that we would all get in game and we would talk to each other and we'd chat shit because we'd all be teenagers at the time or whatever.
But you still do that,
but really,
so shut up.
I do type some provocation sometimes in Rocket League, but I don't know if I really want to deal with going into chat these days, like proximity chat. I don't know. Maybe now and then, but I'm interested to see how people respond to it.
You could have some absolute golden moments with proximity chat. I mean, we had some like hilarious moments doing it on Sea of Thieves. We've only done it once or twice, but like some seriously funny moments, especially when you're just chatting through that like cone that like makes your voice like amplified and stuff. It's fucking hilarious, dude. It's so funny.
Yeah, that is funny. And to be fair, like Sea of Thieves is a game that really does foster that. So like it's a fundamental to the game, isn't it? Kind of that social interaction. And I think we've had it before in like Ark as well, haven't we? Where we've gone in game before getting our base totally destroyed.
Yeah, that was just actually frightening. But we still talk about it, like literally, like
we do.
Like 7-8 years later. About this foreign guy that was barely like he could barely string a sentence together, just literally just being like, he's just shouting like, "We're coming for you!" Just beating down our door with an axe.
Horrifying.
It's truly horrifying.
I still get chills.
Yeah,
I have like, there was
shell shock. The worst thing is there was no reasoning with him. Like you couldn't do anything. There was nothing that was going to stop him from murdering.
He was on a mission that day, and it was to ruin my day.
It really was.
And I think about Destiny as well. Like I think there is probably space for it. I'm just interested because a lot of times we say that party chat killed this sort of thing, but it's not like people aren't forced into party chat. People just prefer it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not to say I'm against these kind of not retro, but like old school social features coming back. I think definitely games have struggled to keep implementing some of those social features that definitely could be useful. Some stuff still exists, like, stay as a team, like squad up after finishing a match.
Yeah.
You like click a button and that happens. I think Overwatch has that, a couple of other games. But yeah, I'm interested to see how that performs. I think that's a really interesting topic.
I think it's just a nice option to have, right? And that's the thing. It's still always an option. You don't have to use it.
Yeah.
But put it in the game.
Yeah, it's just resources ultimately, and I think people a lot of devs realized once party chat came out, not a lot of people are going to use this. But if proximity chat proves to be really popular, this could kind of kick off, a resurgence of social features. So yeah, it's really interesting. We have a question from Joaquin about Phil's comments on saying that there is no pausing on growing Xbox and on acquisitions. And this is something I want to touch on when we get to the big story. In actual fact, should we just do it now? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it now. We'll do it live. So, and he says, I feel like you pick up a couple of independent studios after ActiBliz and early 2024, you move on to Sega, then chill for a bit and develop a cadence of releases. So let's answer this question first before we move into sort of dig our heels into the newest thing that Sony said this week that made them look silly. Yeah, I mean, more acquisitions. It's quite. Do you know what? It's quite hard for me to even think that far ahead because I really don't think they're going near acquisitions until this deal is done, and then I still think they're going to give themselves a bit of breathing room.
Yeah.
Unless they're going for a very niche studio, like maybe they pick up some first-party Japanese studios.
Potentially.
Or like Asian studios.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that, his phrasing, there's no pausing on growing and acquisitions, like, is obviously worded quite well. I don't think there will be a pause. Like, that is right. But there will be a pause in terms of like the scale of the acquisitions. There's no way we're going to do anything remotely on a similar scale to what we're doing now for quite a long time. I feel like you said, we might pick up some smaller studios, maybe some indie developers or something like that. Just like nothing too crazy, nothing too industry shaking. And it just keeps the ball rolling, right? It just keeps Xbox's name still out there. They're still buying stuff. They're still getting things in the pipeline. But in terms of another big acquisition, I don't think we're seeing one for a little while.
But I even think small ones, they're going to be like hesitant. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but with the way this is going, the amount that this deal is now getting probed, I mean, I know we all keep reassuring ourselves and saying, this is all normal, but I still think, I think this is maybe getting more attention that Microsoft thought they would get. Saudi Arabia have put it through, top blokes. But other than that, everyone, like pretty much the rest of Europe, is in a second stage investigation, which is like maybe to be expected, but it's getting a lot of attention. Like there's like a weekly big article about how this is coming on.
Yeah.
And that's maybe not what Xbox and Microsoft wanted.
Definitely.
So we'll see. Yeah. I guess while we're on the topic, this is kind of ties in a little bit to another story we had this week about Phil commenting on Scalebound. Remember Scalebound?
My God. Of course I remember Scalebound.
Yeah. I asked just because I thought maybe you've been trying to push it out of your memory like I have,
No, it sits.
Push it right back into
right at the front of my
occipital
brain.
lobe. Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not good to know. But he said that there's what did he say? He said that I've got his exact wording somewhere in my notes. Let me just find it. He said that there's currently nothing to say about a possible Scalebound revival following Platinum Games' call for the project to be revived earlier in the year. Kamiya, I think his name is, isn't he, over at Platinum? Like said, and we spoke about it on the podcast. He said like, "Oh yeah, let's do it. I'm not joking. Like let's revive this." Sorry about what happened before, but let's go for it. But seems. I mean, I don't know. Nothing to say is kind of sus.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Just deny it. Like, just say no.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing to say just means that there's nothing definitive yet, but there still might be rumblings and talks and back deals and, something potential to happen, but there's just nothing to say right now. Yeah, he's not outright just being like, it's not happening. Yeah.
So I think that's interesting because I think Platinum would be such an ideal pickup for Xbox. I really do. It's a studio that has made some absolute like generation-defining games, but they've also had some blunders, and maybe those blunders are management difficulties or funding difficulties. Either way, having Microsoft oversee that is going to help.
Definitely.
I feel like Platinum would be such a good pickup for them. So Yeah, well, we'll see how things shake out. But I do think we're a while from any more acquisitions, which is obviously difficult because there's lots of other studios being hoovered up right now. You know, like Asobo and Certain Affinity. Have Certain Affinity already been picked up? I don't think they have. Like, they must be two that Xbox are really looking at because of successful partnerships.
Yeah.
Certain Affinity are allegedly making that Monster Hunter-like game, Project Swerte, courtesy of Jez Corden over at Windows Central. They're helping 343 with Halo, and Asobo helped with. They even made Flight Sim.
Yeah.
So these are devs that they must be looking at and saying, we need to lock these guys down because we've done really good work with them. But
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
we'll see. Okay, let's get into the meat then of this story, Tim. I'm sure you saw this in the news, but in essence, Sony clapped back after the CMA, the UK regulatory body, said that they were going to go into a further in-depth probe of the Activision acquisition. And Sony said, and I quote, "This deal would have major negative implications for gamers and the future of the gaming industry." And
dude,
to paraphrase, said,
on.
"We're glad, and we're glad the CMA is investigating this further." Wow, thoughts?
I mean, it's just the same. It's just the same thing. They've been saying the same thing for ages. Like, what's a report on? Like, I really think, again, it's just them just being like, I don't know. They see Call of Duty. It's all about COD. Let's be real.
Well,
In their
yes,
eyes,
I think that is definitely the
it
case.
is all about COD. For some reason, they don't really choose to just be like, oh, like Diablo 4 and all these other games. They just seem to just ignore. They're just like, they're just all about COD for some reason. But yeah, I mean, it's very much the same tone that they've been saying every single week when we report on this.
It is, but there is a key difference here, and the key difference is that they don't say for PlayStation gamers.
Oh, for gamers, yeah.
Yeah, and this is like I actually was getting when I saw this earlier in the week. I was actually found my heart rate went up. I was like, I really shouldn't be because it's like just like stupid shit. But like I was like, this is such a disingenuine comment that it's like I'm actually like a bit irate about it. It's like why are you pretending to be like a monolith of like equality in the gaming industry?
Yeah.
It will have major negative implications for all gamers. What do you give a fuck? You take away content for years at a time. You've been doing this since 2013.
Yeah.
You make these third-party deals all the time. And, we start to get into like the nitty-gritty. It's like, oh, well, that's not the same as a 70 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. It's like, okay, well, that's not really what I'm talking about. Like, if you want to talk about, the scale and the scope of things, that's a different, and whether that's fair, that's a different conversation. What I'm annoyed at is the language used here, which is very generic. And they're trying to kind of sound like they're protecting all the gamers by being opposed to this. But it's like, there's a reason you're the only ones, guys. You're the only ones in opposition to this. No other publishers seem to have a problem with this. Warner Bros. Even Meta chimed in this last week. They were like, yeah, we don't see a problem with this acquisition. But having said that, maybe there's a motive there because they know that Xbox will be more liberal with the IP and put stuff to VR or Facebook gaming if that's still a thing. So I don't know, but either way, this is the point. It's the point that they're trying to preach about like equality for all gamers when
they
PlayStation have been so aggressive with their exclusivity.
They're just being very hypocritical, right? They're backed into a corner, and he's just, I don't know. Like part of this, like you said last week, you feel like he just is being forced to say it as well. He kind of has to, right? But like, yeah, I mean, I'm completely on board with you. I don't know why he's acting like some justice warrior for like all gamers when he's done some. They've done some pretty shady stuff, that only benefits PlayStation players and stuff like that. And now suddenly when when a deal's going through that, you know, it isn't fantastic for them, or, you know, but they're still being cut an okay deal, right? You know, it's not exactly like that bad, but it's not great for them. They're just acting like a wounded like animal, and they're just preaching.
Such a victim, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just like
such a fucking victim.
Yeah, they're literally just playing the victim role so hard, man. So yeah, I just see it as very much more the same thing, if not a little bit worse, like you said, because they're just, I don't know, they're acting like yeah, we're not doing this just for us, guys. We're doing this for all gamers.
Yeah, for you.
We're fighting back for all gamers right now, Xbox included.
That's it.
This deal doesn't benefit Xbox gamers.
Yeah, that's right. And I like. That's it, and that's like kind of where I'm drawing the line. Like, it's not really about the exclusivity here and there. Like, we've spoken about this on the show. Exclusivity generally we are not fans of. This is the way the world works, unfortunately. You know, in a perfect world, I would like that to not be a thing. However, this is where we are, and I hate that I have to keep saying that, because like, people come at me, Tim, on Twitter. People come at me, yapping in my ear, giving me shit. You know, and I'm trying to be just an honest guy. You know, what can I say? I'm not trying to sell you a bridge. I'm not trying to sell you oil.
No.
I'm just, trying to be a good guy. And this is the problem. Because when we start saying, oh, Sony, I can't believe they're saying this because, because of all the exclusivity they've done, people say, oh, it's a false equivalency because, Activision is so big. It's so different. And that's when I realized that this is not a conversation that is worth having over Twitter. There's a character limit, and there is a lot of nuance to it. Like, yes, you are right. Like, this is on one of the biggest scales the industry has ever seen.
Yeah.
But it's more the point that Sony are directly contradicting their own statements, and that there's a clear financial motive and incentive, and that, for them to be making these statements. And it's, if they had been more liberal over the last 5 years with exclusivity or multi-platform, I guess, and cross-platform and cross-gen, they're still charging a cross-platform tax. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
They're the only company doing that we know of. And if that wasn't the case, then we could sit here, we could look at that statement, and we could be like, yep, that's fair. It probably will have negative implications for gamers, for all gamers.
Yeah.
But the fact that they've been so aggressive in, partitioning, making walled gardens between users, it's just hypocritical. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the philosophy of big acquisitions versus small exclusivity, because that is a whole nother thing. It's just the hypocrisy in the statement that is actually raising my heart rate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, I absolutely agree. Yeah. As soon as I read that, I was just like, yeah, he's just being a hypocrite. Yeah, 100%.
I actually have I have like a script. It's not a script. I've got like a video structure put together for like about making a video about exclusivity. I might do it at some point. I think it's a really interesting topic.
Yeah, I remember you tweeted about this. Yeah, saying that you kind of wanted to do a video on it. Yeah.
Just like a short video, because I like it's really interesting.
Don't put my name to it though, because I don't want to die.
This is how. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about general exclusivity, like the concept of exclusivity, not really about an Xbox thing. Like the history of it. Does it happen in other media?
Yeah.
What types of exclusivity are there? I've got like five types here from what I can tell. Timed content, full and subscription exclusivity. And there's lots of different angles. Anyway, I'm not going to go into this now. But I might do that at some point. What does it say? Joaquin says, Jim Rimjob Ryan crying the same day God announces the exclusive PS operator and gun is just rich. Yes, that was a bad look, wasn't it? It's a bad look because it's just petty shit. That's the thing. And like the Hogwarts quest,
quest line, yeah.
And that's a shop that unlocks like a shop in the game, so you can buy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just like, yes, it's on a different scale. And I said this to someone on Twitter, like Sony does like high volume, low to medium intensity deals. Xbox doesn't really do that much. They do low volume, but high intensity deals.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
other than maybe like indie games here and there, like As Dusk Falls is technically like an exclusive title, in the same way that Sony just paid for Rise of the Ronin. You know, so many different angles. Like I said, that it's worthy of doing like a whole video to just fully understand like the different contexts here, which is why I'm considering actually doing one. But yes, there we go. That's a Sony segment out of the way.
Yeah, dude, it's a good one.
It's annoying though. Yeah, it's a good one. It's annoying though because yeah, see you next week. Yeah, exactly. For your next fucking wine and sesh. It's annoying though because I hate bringing it up and sounding like I'm like we're constantly like we're playing defense for Xbox every time, because we're really not. I really don't want that.
I feel like we
talked
about it from like a lot of angles, not just from Xbox's angle, and we've said to an extent we do understand, you know,
sympathize. Yeah,
we do sympathize with Sony and Ryan and stuff like that, but it's the way he's approaching everything. It's just so hypocritical, and it's just like, dude, you could do this in such a better way, or just realize your past and don't do it, because you kind of seem like a bit of an idiot when you say stuff like this, considering your past in this area.
That's it.
So it's just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, you nail on the head. Yeah, that's right. It's the way it's being handled, which is a bit irritating. I guess we're at that point in the show where I want to remind everyone, if you're watching afterwards, maybe you're listening to us on your favorite podcasting platform, give us a like, give us a quick review. We'd really appreciate it. We've had a lot of really nice engagement in the chat today, until of course our Wi-Fi exploded and ruined everything. Ruined our trajectory to getting 1 million subs in a day and breaking records. It's a real shame. That it's a real shame. On episode 69 of all, these things happen. It's clearly we were assassinated by Google and Jim Ryan in a combined Kamehameha attack. Is it Kamehameha or is it Kamehameha?
Kamehameha is how I say it.
Do other people say Kamehameha?
Some people say Kamehameha. Yeah, I say Kamehameha.
All right. So Ubisoft, Tim, is raising their prices to $70, 70 quid. That's fun. Skull and Bones is going to be at that $70 price point now.
Still worth it.
So glad that crack in the door has been opened by a particular other publisher.
Yeah, that shall not
starting
be
with S and ending with Y. Yeah,
whose nickname may or may not be Rim Job.
No, that can't stick. Yeah, I don't have much to add about that. I'm annoyed that all publishers are now doing this. Like Activision Blizzard are doing the same thing. They're pushing the price point of their games up to
One
70.
day, we'll be paying 70 quid for indie games. Your Hades, your Hollow Knights, mate, they're gonna set you back 70 quid.
Fork it over. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, mate, I think we are going to get to a point where that is a thing.
That's just so much money. It's crazy.
It's a lot. It's like, it's one of the reasons why I'm so on the fence about Gotham Knights, because I'm like, it's not Games Pass. That's a lot of money. Like, it's a lot of money.
That's my meals for the week.
Yeah, like genuinely. And it's like, and just with the track record of games recently and stuff like that, there have been some disappointments. Yeah, I don't know. Not a trustworthy person.
No, fair enough. And obviously, this is where like Games Pass, game sharing, etc., etc. Again, the family plan, all of this is like really, really. It's a good time for Xbox to be investing in these value generating services, because it's like the difference is so cut and dry. Like if I was on PlayStation right now, and we should probably talk about God of War quickly, actually, but like and God of War was coming up. Like, obviously, that's like, for me, probably an instant buy. But man, I'm like...
it's a safe 70. Yeah.
I'm not feeling good about it. Like, I'm not feeling good about it, though. Like, I'm like, that's... I'm already paying, like what was it, like £8 a month for a subscription and I now have to buy this to play it day one. Like, I'm excited, but I'm like, there's something in the back of my mind which is like, I'm paying a lot of money here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I know going into 2023, I don't have to do that. Or even at the end of this year, Persona, Plague's Tale, they aren't day one, so fair enough. But then even like Redfall, Starfield, if the Activision deal closes, Diablo, I know these are coming day one. Yes, it's just, I'm glad Xbox are doing what they are doing. Is basically where I'm going with that. Cost of living is real, and I don't think a lot of podcasts talk about it enough because nobody wants to sound like they're poor. And I think honestly, if you're doing a podcast, you're probably in a decent place of living anyway. But so maybe there is like a bit of inherent bias there. But everybody's feeling it, particularly in the UK anyway. I can't talk about other places, but
Yeah.
it's rough.
Yeah. Definitely. It's a lot of moolah. It's a lot of moolah. That's what I said.
Yeah, moolah. God of War, Tim. You saw that trailer, right? What do you think?
And you know what? I'm kind of in agreement with you about Atreus'
what did I say?
actor. A little bit weird.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, especially right at the beginning. Not really the voice
Sounded
I
off,
would have
right?
chose, but just sounded a little bit like, I don't know, a little bit whiny and a little bit like...
It just wasn't good.
I just didn't really feel like it fitted like his now... I guess it's supposed to be kind of like pubescent, right? Like he's a bit older, but
like
he's
12,
not
early teenager.
He's not going to come in and literally sound like Kratos, like Dad.
Yeah,
but like Dad, boy. Just like, that'd be ridiculous. Yeah. But I don't know, man. There was just something about it that just seemed a little bit off to me. Maybe it's because I did read your tweet first and then I watched it and I was like, maybe there's something here. You kind of triggered something in my brain. But I just feel like it was a little bit weird. But apart from that, the game looks pretty phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie.
It's looking good.
That bit at the end where he threw the axe and it collided with Thor's hammer and they just like stayed there in midair and then they both recalled it at the same time. I literally was just like, my body was just drained of all fluids.
Wonderful.
Yeah. That did look fantastic. Yeah.
Just look back at you and you're just like a little shriveled sack of skin on the chair.
Yeah.
With a little bit of hair on top.
I literally cannot deny that this game is probably going to be fire. I think it's going to just be better than the first one in every way by the looks of it. Everything just looks so good. Like that bit where he fired the arrow and it like cut the sky in half, like with the sun, with like the wolves over it. I was literally just like, yo, like the artistic direction here is fucking fire. Like this game looks phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, the first one really excelled in that area too. I think they've always been really good at making set pieces, like really good fantasy set pieces, which you don't get that often, weirdly. Like fantasy tends to be quite self-contained, I think. Like a lot of like, I mean, maybe I'm struggling to figure out how to phrase it. Like I'm thinking about like Elder Scrolls games. They're surprisingly, I don't want to say personal, but they don't have a big focus on big like world affecting moments. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got a bit like a Elden Ring was very good at that. Like you boot in as a giant tree, the whole thing sets on fucking fire. Sorry, spoilers. At some point, and these big things happen, big enemies, etc. But then, like in the God of War trailer, like the sky tears open, the giant jellyfish thing flies up, and it's just like the what's it called, Jormungandr in God of War 2018, right? A giant thing, like wow, like the scale and scope of what that game goes for is so cool, and I'm a really big fan of big things in games, like massive things. So yeah, I'm absolutely in agreement. I think it was a fantastic trailer. With the only drawbacks, like you said, referencing a tweet I made, by the way, that's what we're talking about with the voice actor. That Atreus, I just don't think he sounded good. I don't know what happened. It's the same kid apparently, just grown up. 4 years. But it didn't sound good. The delivery was just off. I'm just going to keep it real. The delivery just wasn't good in the trailer, and maybe those lines will have been re-recorded over between now and then. Maybe it just sounds bad out of context. I don't know, but it didn't sound good.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there. Yeah.
Everyone else was fine, but Atreus, the delivery just wasn't good, in my opinion. And the only other thing I would say about it is that some of the combat still does feel a little bit samey. Don't come at me. It does. It still looks a little bit samey. There's some clear
I don't
efforts.
think people can argue against you. Like, I just feel like it is. Like, there are reused assets there and reused animations. Like, it's just fact. It's not a bad thing. It's a sequel. So
yeah. So, but it's kind of a don't fix what ain't broken kind of situation as well. Like, I like a lot. I still like that some of the combat in the first God of War was fantastic. So, you're not going to find me complaining a bit too, complaining that much about it. It's just it looks kind of a little bit samey. That's fine. Yeah, agreement. Overall, looks fantastic. And I, salute to PlayStation and Santa Monica Studios, and to everybody who's going to be playing that on day one in November. I won't, because I don't have a PlayStation 5. Nor do I have the disposable income. Well, I don't know. Like, I would be very on the fence about buying that day one when I have a lot of other stuff that I could be playing for free, like Persona, for example, on Game Pass, and Deathloop, etc.
And
Plague Tale,
have Overwatch 2 at that point as well.
Overwatch 2, exactly. So, and that's kind of the thing I feel about this, is that as these prices for these games going up, especially on these single player one and done games, it just incentivizes me to wait for them to drop, which is a problem. That's not a problem. That's kind of the market responding to my needs a little bit. But it just affects my patience, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, while we're finishing off the topic of Sony, before we got into our final few bits and bobs, the PSVR 2, Tim, if you remember, was announced maybe a year ago now, and we've had a slow drip feed of information since. They announced that it won't be backwards compatible the other day.
Okay.
And this is really interesting, because when I was watching some of the videos for the PSVR 2, I was like really impressed. I was like, this looks fire. Like, it's got a lot of stuff in it. This is a big deal. I thought it's a bit disappointing that it's still wired. They've like streamlined it into one wire, I think, rather than like multiple. But the tech there looks fantastic. I don't think they've announced a price point for it. And the first PSVR had an attach rate of about 4 to 5%, which is really low. It did not pop off. A lot of people feel that the tech in it was outdated on day one. And so I feel like really bad for those that did commit to the first PSVR and bought software and games on it that now won't carry through to the second. I mean, what are your thoughts on this news?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about VR and stuff like that. Like, so in terms of like what games are like, big hitters and smash hits and games people would want to take over, and sad that aren't backwards compatible. I don't really know the game library, but I'm going to assume there's quite a few bangers there that people would want to play on the VR2, and it not being backwards compatible is, I think it's just a downright negative, right? I don't think there's any way you can look at that and find a positive there, right? It's just a negative. Well, it's just not backwards compatible. But
it is, but it's also very interesting, because if you remember at the beginning of this gen of consoles, a lot of people said, no, we shouldn't be making backwards. We shouldn't be doing cross-gen because it holds back the next gen.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, I wonder if those same people will be upset about this. But, at the same time, from what I understand, the reason this happened is because the tech is so different. Yeah. Like, from the ground up, this is designed to work better, and as a result, old software just won't work.
Yeah.
So, if that's what it is, then that's what it is. But you can't help but feel a little bit burnt that it wasn't designed with backwards compatibility in mind. Like, it is a bit sad. So, yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think it does. It does kind of suck.
Because for some people who, I imagine this is going to be like, this would have been a selling point, and now they're maybe not so interested Like somebody who bought PSVR 1 is now going to be like, I was going to get this, but now I don't know if there's any point. Like, I'm going to lose my whole library again. So yeah, I don't know.
Or
We'll
they
see.
just have to keep like both around, and like plugged in and ready to play.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
It's
It's such a
just-
mess.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a ball ache. Yeah, definitely.
The Coalition has decided to donate to suicide prevention. They've pledged to donate 1% of all future net revenue from Gears of War games and merchandise to suicide prevention charities, with Crisis Text Line announced as its first partner. Really nice, just feel good bit of news. To be honest, I was trying to figure out why they decided to go this route. I think it's cool that some companies do decide to pledge to charity. And I was like, why suicide prevention for Gears of War? And then I was like, it's Dom. It's Dom. It's Dom's
Dom.
name.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
rest in peace, Dom.
Yeah, rest in RIP, exactly. So yeah, this is the second studio to have a bit of a mental health focused tilt, and obviously speaks to me. So I'm happy to see this. I'm happy that these companies have the autonomy to make these decisions. 1% of revenue is quite a lot.
It's a lot.
And that's quite a commitment.
Yeah.
So that's great. I'm just happy to hear it. And I just wanted to drop it, really.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, that's really good news to hear.
Okay, Tim. Last story.
Right.
And how long has it been since I last said it? Probably long enough. If you're still here, hit the like button. Listening on podcasts, services, give us a quick review. Give us a star rating. Let us know. Follow us on Twitter. Send us a pizza. You know the drill.
Send us a pizza.
You know the drill. So, okay, that's fine. I'm just trying to think because I forgot. No, that's fine. No, we'll just go to 343. That's fine. So this week, Tim, there was really a 343 shakeup. Bonnie Ross, who has been the founder and the lead of 343 since 2012. No, I mean before that, 2008 or something, 2010, or around then, whenever 343 was founded, Bonnie Ross has been the head. And a lot of criticism has been directed at Bonnie Ross for the management of Halo in general. A lot of people have pointed to her being at the top as a reason for the problem with direction and the management, etc., etc. But so a lot of people have been calling for her head, which I always thought went a bit personal, but I understand, looking to the top when looking at failures of the product, I suppose. Yeah. So this is a really big deal. This is the biggest change in over a decade that 343 has had. Not only has Bonnie Ross left, she apparently, judging based on her statements, she was due to leave in November with the winter update, the season 2 extension thing. Mm-hmm. But due to a family medical emergency, she's going to be leaving ASAP.
Okay.
She is being replaced by 3 people, which I think is really concerning. But who are I'm trying to figure out the names. Brian Koski, who will become GM of franchise, Elizabeth Van Wyck, who will oversee business and operations, and Pierre Heinz will become the studio head of 343. And Pierre Heinz is the guy who took the lead for redirecting Master Chief Collection.
Okay.
After it had its busted launch. Yeah. So people are quite happy about this. Pierre seems to get stuff done, and he's got a good track record so far. But there's something to be said about Bonnie's role being split into 3 people. What are your thoughts on all of this? Where does this leave you with Bonnie and 343 as a studio and their shortcomings, and what do you think about all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, right? I don't really feel like there's, as harsh as it sounds, I feel like it could be positive, right? I feel like a shake-up probably was needed. Halo, hasn't been in the best of places for quite some time now. It's definitely not quite as prestigious as it once was, and it's been that way for quite a few releases, not just Halo Infinite. So I do and like you said, you can't argue people to look at the top when something goes wrong. That's how all businesses work. You know, all the decisions get made and signed off by her, right? So,
Mhm.
I think it's probably quite a positive thing, especially if it's being split into three people as well. Now, I don't know if that's just because did she have too much on, and was this a result of her just taking too much on when realistically maybe if they like split her role into two or something like that, maybe she would have been under a lot less pressure, a lot less
Mhm.
strain, and maybe the decisions would have been better or easier for her. So I don't know. I don't know if it's sheer workload or if they're just looking to just split things up to streamline these avenues and keep them separate. But equally, this could cause
Mhm.
more confusion, more red tape to cross if these need to go through three separate people now. Depending
Mhm.
on how those roles cross over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's probably good.
And I think that's generally the consensus across the board. I mean, like I said, she planned to leave in November anyway, so it seemed like, you know, this was coming.
Yeah.
And we spoke about this last episode. We sort of said when people were calling for heads and calling for roles and stuff after the the new roadmap and everything. The wheels were already turning on this. That's what I kept saying. Bringing back ex-Bungie devs, Joseph Staten's in the lead position. Certain Affinity, which was made up of a lot of ex-Bungie devs helping out 343. Max Huberman was just brought on board as well. Who was also ex-Bungie, in like senior positions. So like clearly this was already happening, and this is kind of like I guess the final straw. The final piece of the puzzle was really shaking up management to help this out. Like, yeah, you're right. Something needed to give here. This had been going on a bit too long. Like for every, and I always say this, for every like big success 343 has, they have like a like there's always a nuance to it. There's always a wrinkle. There's always a shortcoming, and it's like, can't there just be like a nuance-free win, really? So this needed to happen, and I think this is good news overall. Yeah, it's obviously very unfortunate that it's under the circumstances that it is, with Bonnie leaving because of a family medical emergency, and the community, like they're all like actual like maniacs.
Goblins.
A lot of them were like, "Oh, she's just faking it." Like, so just to clarify, you think that she's faking a medical emergency to leave 3 months earlier than she was due to leave?
Yeah.
It doesn't follow, does it? Like, the logic doesn't follow.
Yeah.
It's just like anything to personally attack. Like, a lot of people had really built Bonnie up as someone they like really hated for killing their favorite franchise. Bit much, but crazy. So yes, probably a good thing. And this is something as well that I noticed when she announced her departure. Loads of devs and loads of industry figureheads were like really, really respectful and kind of grateful of her place in the industry. When she like as a quote tweet or a reply to her post. I think clearly she had a lot of respect in the industry, and 343 wasn't the only thing that she did. You can go and have a look at the wiki, and she supposedly nearly single-handedly kept Halo going after Bungie left. Apparently, Microsoft were thinking that there wasn't that much. It's kind of a waning property, and she argued that there's still a lot there. And given that what she does or what she did, we're not just talking about the games anymore. We're talking about the books, which there has been loads. We're talking about the TV show, all the transmedia stuff. There's Halo arcade machines. Halo is more than just its games now, and I think Bonnie definitely helped with that and has kept it alive. And I'm glad it is still alive. I'm glad it is. So we can't understate that, but I think we're all in agreement that it's kind of like a bittersweet tip of the hat. It's like, thanks for everything you've done.
Agreed. Yeah.
But we need the old guard did need a shake up, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Just with respect, it's not
Absolutely.
it's not bad to have a shake up and stuff like that. Like I don't think she's done an awful job. I think me and you are just like quite on the same wavelength with Halo. I don't think we're quite as butthurt as a lot of the community is with Halo releases for quite some time now. But like you said, they've always been like kind of good with a bad thing, or they released this, but oh no, they've gone back on what they said previously on this. It's never just we're just doing what we said we were gonna do. Here it is. There's always something else, and I just don't know if that just comes from within. Just bad management, just
From within,
just bad product management. Maybe it is. Maybe we'll see an improvement now.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think like Xbox must have known that, and like all this time that Xbox has been giving them, like they must have been bleeding money, right? This stuff doesn't come resource free. Whether it's the delay of the actual game in the first place, and then really successful launch, and now I don't think it's actually more like the game isn't performing that well, but it's not doing as bad as everyone keeps saying it is. Like everyone keeps taking screenshots of Steam numbers and they're like, "Oh, Battlefield 2042 has more players than Halo Infinite." It's like, please stop taking like Halo is still top 25 on Xbox. Battlefield 2042 isn't even in the top 50, nor is Master Chief Collection. And people keep making these comparisons like they're fair, or they're like a valid representation. You could make the argument, Steam maybe reflects 10% of the player base. Therefore, if I times that number by 10, I'm getting the overall player. It's like you can do that, but either way, you're not really making a good case that Battlefield 2042 is performing better. We're all in agreement. Infinite's not in a good place, but I don't. It's like in the same range as Call of Duty Cold War at the moment. Which is like not considered one of the good Call of Duties, but it's still a Call of Duty. Like, come on.
I think it's the latest one.
It's one of them. I can't remember which one it is on the most played thing, but it's like next to one of them or just above one of them. But nonetheless, yes, you're right. Yeah, like this something needed to give here, and I think this is probably a good thing. This is clearly the start of something new. And yes, Joaquin is absolutely right. People get very caught up in kind of the fandom or the dislike for particular people that they forget that the actual people work at the studios. And I'm totally in agreement. It's like a weird. It's a weird paradox that I think people have to deal with. That you're allowed to dislike the overall structure of business and economics that we live in a world dominated by companies, and maybe you like that, maybe you don't. Or you're critical or skeptical of that. But at the same time, you've got to remember that 95% of companies are just made up of people like you, just working to get their paycheck. And, sometimes they do a good job. Sometimes they're not doing great. And, you can point at different reasons for that. But I never understood in making any of these things personal.
No, I would never, ever go out my way to like attack a dev or attack somebody that is working on like Halo Infinite or any other game. Like that sort of stuff just never crosses my mind. I don't know how people do this like on Twitter on like a minute to minute basis. I mean, I just don't understand how it works, how their brains work, and how they feel like they're just accomplishing anything good. Like nothing positive comes out of that. You're being negative and you're just feeding into your own negative energy, and all it does is just spread negativity to everyone else. It's just so
it's contagious,
and you're achieving absolutely nothing. They are not speeding up their processes. They're not changing their work processes as a result of you just being an ass. So just don't do it.
Yeah. Provide your constructive feedback and move on. We don't need a 57th video telling us you're done with Halo Infinite. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you come back in November and you're like, oh, it's not good. It's like, yeah, what are we accomplishing here? Yeah. So overall, good thing. It's a shame that I don't think the community will ever change. Unfortunately, I think there is a section of that community which is disproportionately toxic and will remain that way really forever. because I don't think they're going to relive, their teenage years again. That's pretty much it. It's the nostalgia bump. Yeah, and somebody was like arguing with me about this on Twitter as well. Like, oh, why won't you just let people be happy with their nostalgia and want to relive it? And it's like, you're not unique or special for having a good nostalgia. It's literally a known phenomenon called the nostalgia bump. Everyone's memory is better during their low teens to low adulthood. Everybody has fond memories of that era. For reasons which are probably obvious. Whether this is a neuropsychological phenomenon, i.e., it's just a particular time of brain development which soaks in more stuff, or it's because that's just a time in our lives where we have less responsibilities and we form more memories. Don't know. One of those reasons. Everybody has that. It's just like you're not special by making a point of that you want to relive that. Everybody has that. It's just that you've decided that you're going to try and get back to that by being hateful, and that's really silly. You're being a little silly person.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
Okay. Link Gaming. Hi, Link Gaming. I think we've seen you before. If we haven't, welcome to the channel. Why is Sony complaining about ABK, man? When Microsoft bought Bethesda, Sony didn't complain. Yeah, I guess Bethesda was on a slightly smaller scale, and they didn't have Call of Duty. I hate how it always comes back to Call of Duty, but it does. Like, honestly, would you be like? And because I wouldn't care. I don't really care about. I think there are some talented devs over at Activision, but I more just want Blizzard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know what Call of Duty is, and how much of the market share it has, but like, I don't really emotionally really care that much. Like, oh, we bagged Call of Duty. I'm more like, oh, we fucking bagged Diablo and Overwatch and fucking all these upcoming games. That's more what I'm excited about, and we've talked about that as well. Like, it's the biggest, like, what we like most about this deal going forward, if it gets accepted. And pretty much both of us were just like Blizzard stuff. Like,
that's right.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
And it's I guess it would be nice to see Microsoft shake up COD, give it a 2-year cycle, get some of those devs on some new IPs that they can make, that they can put into Games Pass. I was going to say make exclusive, but put into Game Pass. I know it's not territory I want to go back into. That would be cool as well. But it doesn't mean that much to me. I obviously know it means a lot to a lot of people, and given how volatile COD is as a franchise, I'm sure that it would be nice to know that people could have access to it without the risk, in low risk fashion, without having to buy it every year. So, but yeah, I would be perfectly happy if Xbox just cut Call of Duty out of this deal. It's like, just they can stay independent. However, the rest of this stuff, the Blizzard and the rest of the Activision studios, we are going to use to generate new IP, new games, revive IP, etc., and generate value for Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And I think this is, I'll make this kind of one of the closing points, but this is something that ultimately, I think was one of the things that got me a bit irate about Sony's comments this week, was that when we talk about Xbox bagging, making these sorts of deals, it generates direct value for us, for the customer. More stuff gets in Game Pass, you get more bang for your buck with that subscription. Mm-hmm. That's a very direct, tangible benefit that you can feel when you can play. But PlayStation like to take stuff away. It doesn't generate. They don't put their money into generating value for PS Plus. Given that they have PS Plus now, it just really shocks me that the angle. Maybe they will in the future, but right now they haven't been trying to generate value for the PS Plus subscriber. They've just been gating content away from. They're not really generating value for the customer. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. The Xbox, there's different approaches, and maybe that will change. And I understand that these things are different because they're on different scales and different scopes. That's fine. But in principle, that's kind of what has been bugging me. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We've talked about it. previously. No, yeah, that was one of the main points. Yeah,
Yes.
no, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's just, yeah, kind of the way they're going about it. But yeah.
Cool. I think we've said this before. Chill Gaming, hello. If you've been here before, maybe you haven't. Hi, welcome to the channel. Call of Duty should stay multi-platform. We agree that we think that's largely the case. Maybe there is some instance in the future where the terms of this change, but we've said before we think that Xbox largely just likes having the leverage. I don't think people need that to be exclusive. It's a bit much, and honestly, it's just a bit mean. If you're one of those people who buys a console for exclusivity. Sorry, if you buy a console just for COD, that's going to really make things difficult for you. They don't need that. They don't need that.
Yeah, agreed.
Ultimately, it's still revenue that comes back into Xbox, which gets pumped into other exclusive content and other games and other studios. So no problem.
Yeah.
All right, then, Tim, are you happy with all of this? Is there anything else you wanted to cover? We've had a two-hour show with a few technical problems, but just about this is roughly normal time, so we can wind down now.
Yeah, I don't think there was too much else we needed to cover. Just trying to think back to like all of the online shows that happened, if there was anything we missed.
Yeah, no, I can't remember. There was some state of play stuff. There was an indie showcase for Xbox as well. Our idea Xbox like Twitch showing, but we spoke about like they're like hours long. Usually, they shorten this one to like an hour and a half or something like that. And I watched a bit of it, but they're just really not entertaining. Sorry, they're just the structure just isn't good. So I can't remember anything else that was actually there. I know that Stellar Blade game, right? Project Eve, that got that's a full exclusive now for PlayStation.
Yeah.
You were looking forward to that, weren't you?
Yeah, it did look really cool. Yeah, the trailer I saw for it as well. I was pretty hyped for that. Bit bummed out it's PlayStation exclusive. I mean, I have a PlayStation, but it's just the fact that I know that game probably won't be coming to a subscription service. So it's like if I want that, I'm now probably gonna have to put 70 quid on it. Right.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit annoying.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying. From Nintendo Direct, spoke about Tears of the Kingdom. There was a new Fire Emblem announced there, wasn't there? We spoke about Pikmin. Yeah, I think we covered everything, man.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. Until Jim starts crying, for next week.
Yeah, exactly.
And go from there.
Yeah. It's always a confirmed news story. He's like our new Starfield, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Week, you can just do something on him.
Just find a way to get him into the convo. Yeah. Tekken 8 got announced as well, didn't it? I'm just looking through my notes again.
Yeah, Tekken 8 was kind of hype for a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shall we hit jingle and wrap this up? Because otherwise we're just going to be umming and ahhing. But yeah. Shout out to Chill Gaming. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for subscribing. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Just as a reminder, if you're new here, we try to stream every Sunday, 12:30 BST. I don't know what that is for everyone else around the world. I think that's quite early in the morning for you, and we could be open to a time shift, couldn't we, Tim?
Yeah,
if we could get a better time for other people, we could maybe do an hour later. But 12:30 BST for us, whatever that converts to for you. And yeah, are we jingling?
We are jingling, yeah, right now. Yeah.
That's good because really brings the vibe up. All right, well, thanks for coming, everyone. We've had some really nice conversations in the chat today. Hopefully we'll catch you next week. We've got a long weekend this week. God save the Queen and all that.
Well, you didn't.
Well, he didn't, clearly. Nice try. Unsuccessful. Yeah. We should have failed. We'll get him next time.
Yeah. GG, bro. Good effort.
But yeah, thanks, guys. It's been a lot of fun today. We'll catch you next week. Come over and follow us on Twitter if you're interested in more of what we do. And that's it. That's it. Bye.
Goodbye.
That's it. Bye.
Everyone. Been a pleasure.
Bye. Have a good time. Have a good weekend. Have some water.
Have some water.
Have a pizza.